week 9 in this COVID-inspired reboot of the weight loss journey. At my highest weight, I was about 470 pounds. I'm obviously far lighter than that these days, but it has been a long, gradual, slow decline in my weight, which has been great, but all sparked because essentially quarantine was kicking my ass. I was putting a little bit of weight on each week, each month. It was never very much, it was never that noticeable, but it was just totally going in the wrong direction. So 9 weeks ago, I decided it was time to properly go for this and have that accountability piece, which is you guys. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you for the support that's been shown to the videos, to this progress, and the help, the hints, the tips, the tricks, even the questions have really kept me motivated for this. So I just wanted to say thank you very much to everybody who's got involved in this. It really has been appreciated. So thank you. My name is Mark, and I'm here to help you live a better, healthier life. My goal is to help as many people get in shape and improve their quality of life. Now, if this is your first time here and you want to learn more about practical and effective ways to improve your health, your fitness, and your overall wellness, or if you're just interested in expanding your knowledge about fitness and nutrition, please do subscribe to the channel and you'll be kept updated about all future videos as they come out. And with no further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, so accountability, where are we? We started in week 0, 136.7 kilograms, which was 302 pounds. Last week we were at 128.7 kilograms, which is 284 pounds. And this week we're at 128.6 kilograms, which is 283.5. So all in all, so far we've lost just over 18 and a half pounds on this journey, which is fantastic. We're in the ballpark for me in terms of that aim of losing 1 to 2 pounds per week, which is great news. In terms of how we're going, with the cold and icy weather, I know I've said that a few times, with the cold and icy weather, I really am struggling with my normal exercise, which is walking, because it's not pleasant or safe on some days to take me or the dogs out, particularly when it's quite very cold. So it's trying to find those other activities to go through. So great progress so far. I'm happy with where we are. I am now at my lowest weight during this journey so far, but only just. I know that last week it was only about half a pound, which was a little bit frustrating, a little bit under target, but so far so good. I have to say I'm actually really quite happy, and that for me is kind of maintaining that focus of, you know, just the 1 to 2 pounds, because I just think that that's a healthy amount to lose week in, week out, without doing anything too drastic, reducing the calories too much, having to, you know, risk injury by increasing the exercise too much. So I think for me that is probably about right at the minute. Now, 283.5 pounds is, I think that's my lowest since school, to be perfectly honest. I'm certainly fitting into clothes and things these days that I wore at school, which is a little bit scary, considering that was a lot of years ago, because I'm old. So really good so far. Really happy with the progress, and I just need to maintain that going through. So the week ahead. Obviously last week with half a pound was a loss. Happy. But for me, as I keep saying, that goal for me is that 1 to 2 pounds each week. So we're a little bit behind where I'd prefer to be, although much better than putting it on. So I can't complain too much about that. But this week, what I think I'm going to do is just drop my calories just a little bit, more than I have been. Obviously, as always, I'm going to use the TD calculator. I think knowing how much I'm meant to be eating and allowing me to judge how much to reduce that by is a healthy thing for me. I'm somebody who needs structure. I'm somebody who needs to know what they're doing, on a daily basis. Because if I'm left to my own devices, when I wake up in the morning, I'll eat the wrong things from morning till night, which is not what you want to be doing when you're on a fitness journey to lose weight. So for me, I'll start off with a TD calculator. The forecast for this next week is still meant to be nice. It's sunny, but it's barely got above -3 today, which is not the best for walking the dogs or for ice and everything else when you go up into the hills. So reduce the calories a little bit more. I'm still doing the routine I've been doing for the past couple of weeks, which is to get up before work earlier than I would normally, and I'm doing an hour to an hour and a half of yoga in the morning. Now I stress, when I say an hour to an hour and a half, the first 20 minutes of that is kind of warming up, getting moving, all about movement rather than breaking a sweat. But I'm certainly doing 30 or 40 minutes of exercise that is a moderate sweat and some deep breathing, raised heart rate, all the rest of it. So I'm trying to get that hour and a half before work. So I'm going to maintain that this week. But what I'm going to pair that with is reducing my calories a little bit. Probably only 100, 200 calories per day, and see what effect that has on the end of the week. In terms of the style of eating this week, I'm quite happy at the minute with my volume eating approach to this. So I'm eating a lot of chicken as my protein source, with some beans and pulses thrown in, and then quite calorie light, less calorie dense food, whatever the phrase is. I'm going slightly bonkers today. Whatever the phrase is, food that's got volume and is not densely calorific. So eating your cabbages, your celeries, your broccolis, those kind of leafy green vegetables, your kales and all of that piece. Thrown in there just for a bit of flavour. I'm still having onion and pepper and fennel, because I think those are great vegetables for adding some flavour and a different texture to the food you're eating. And I'm trying to keep the sauces away from that, or if I'm having a sauce, a homemade tomato sauce, so that it is healthier without those hidden salts and sugars. So I can't say it's clean eating at the minute. I've moved away from that. I got to the point where if I ate any more chicken and broccoli meals exclusively, I think I was going to break. So what I've done now is just slowly introduced foods that are lower in calories, higher in volume, healthy, staying away from sauces. Garlics and gingers and things are fine. You get those lazy ones that are in the tubes, or cut up garlic cloves and things yourself. But staying away from the jarred stuff that has all of that sugar that is makes it far more calorific than you need to. So that's the plan for this next week. Reduce the calories slightly, maintain my exercise regime, walk when I can. Absolutely, because that is my preferred exercise. I enjoy it. So walk when I can, when the weather's okay for it. Do my yoga in the morning before work, and then just try and reduce those calories a little bit, because I do want to go for that £1 to £2 per week. That is my goal, and something that I'm really trying very hard, sometimes failing, but trying very hard to maintain throughout this as a constant. So that is the week ahead and what the plan is for this week. An hour and a half of exercise in the morning, probably half an hour of stretching, warming up, breathing exercises, etc. And then 40 minutes, 30 minutes of actually, slightly more intense workout. Still probably mostly yoga, a little bit of rowing machine, some time with the few weights we've got in the house. And then just again, eating fairly simply, eating relatively sauce-free, and eating those things that are bulkier, filling, and yet lower on that calorie scale. So your cabbages and all the rest of it. It helps that I like cabbage. what can I say? I'm quite happy with that diet at the minute. It's varied enough to be interesting, and it's also quite filling. So you can have a massive bowl, another bowl and a half almost, for about 500 or 600 calories, which is fantastic. So for me, that is my week ahead. As always, if you've got any questions about what I'm doing, or if you need any help for your own journey, please do leave a comment in the comment section, or reach out on social media. I'm more than happy to help, because I really do want people to succeed. I've spent too many years looking at videos of those before and after shots of people who've lost massive weight, but I've never been able to find the actual story going through in terms of what they did, their ups, the downs, what worked for them, what didn't work for them. Maybe some ideas for me to try. You ended up with a before and after shot, and it's brilliant. I am in awe of some of these people and the amount of weight they've got rid of, and going from morbidly obese to this kind of ripped and shredded figure. Jealous, probably. Happy for them, absolutely. But I know I've struggled on this journey. It was very easy to get to 470 pounds. It was fun. You could eat what you want, when you wanted, in whatever volume you felt like it. And it was dead easy. The only thing that got annoying was trying to find clothes that actually fitted, because I was getting to the upper levels of what you could get even in the big man stores. So it was easy to get there. It's been a long struggle to get back, but one that happily is going in the right direction, and has been now for a while, and now it's a case of maintaining it. So thank you very much for following along. Sorry for that last little rant, but it is what it is. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, so thank you.